All right, all right, all right. Hey, everybody. Oh, Avery's here. Hold on a second. Hey, Avery, can you hear me? Uh-oh. Is my audio coming through? It is. It is. Avery. Avery, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Hey.
I had to find what mute button was hit. There's several involved in this.
Yes, yes. You got one on your computer. You got one on your headphones. You got multiple mute buttons.
Yeah, and the one on my headphones can get pushed and not even know it.
Yeah.
Because it's
I know
behind
exactly
the ear
what you mean.
now on this headset. And so you can
Okay.
push it putting your headphones on and not even realize it.
How's it going, my friend?
It's all right, man. Oh, congrats. 2,000 subs.
Yeah, I know. Pretty exciting. I was
Wow.
joking around with somebody yesterday. I was like, "Oh, I'm right on the verge. I'm right on the verge." And then today at the shop, I'm not paying attention to anything that's going on until I get home. And I didn't look until right before I started live streaming. And I went, "Oh, look, I passed
Oh,
2,000."
oh my God.
Oh, it's always fun to celebrate good stuff like that, you know.
Yeah.
Not that I'm really celebrating, but it's just
Celebrate. Well, your growth over this year has been more than the first couple combined.
oh yeah, oh absolutely, absolutely. And it's all because of the scam
Yeah.
calls.
Yeah,
So I
that
mean,
that took off. Somebody noticed it, and it took off.
yep. And honestly, I'm still having fun doing it.
Hmm.
So it's not going to stop anytime soon because I'm still enjoying it. So, oh, hey, Rosemary, how you doing? Rosemary's here. All right, all right. I am going. I'm making a promise to everybody out there in the audience tonight. I'm going to try to do a better job moderating my own live stream. Avery, no, Avery, it was bad. Last week, somebody came in and started spamming the chat, and I stupidly saw the person's name, which had some sexually explicit words in it, and I read the whole thing out, and then realized, ooh, maybe I shouldn't have read that out. And then they kept doing it over, and I even put it
Yeah.
on the screen. I was like, oh, I'm an idiot. I just wasn't paying attention, and luckily, I'm sitting here trying to delete the comment, and instead I'm like muting them or something. I just wasn't doing it right. Luckily, Rick came in, and Rick took care of them for me.
Oh yeah.
So I was like, I've never had that experience before, because if you go back and watch the stream, they were
Mhm.
just boom, 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 boom. It's like, what the hell's
They were a
going
bot.
on? Yeah, exactly. But I was stupid enough not only to read it out over the stream, but not know exactly what to do with it. So, oh, hey, awesome one, how's it going? Clark's here as well. What's up, Drew? How's it going, Clark? Hope everything's going good. Oh, I right before I started the stream. Hey, Richard, how's it going? He says, "You live?" Hey, Andrew. Hey, Avery.
Hey, what's up, Richard?
Oh, I keep forgetting. I can bring the comments up on the screen, guys. You guys are going to realize very quickly I'm an idiot. That's just it. And Rosemary says, "Andrew, you're doing you great, Jay." Okay, I think she's saying I'm doing a great job, which I'm trying. I really am. Oh, so last night, Todd called me because I started to do the stream, and I'm sitting there. I am so freaking tired. I was just so exhausted from the day. What's really weird is I worked all day today.
Uh-huh.
I'm not nearly as exhausted at 8 o'clock at night tonight as I was yesterday. My day job is mentally exhausting. My weekend job, it's kind of exhausting, but it's fun exhausting. So doing the stream tonight is kind of fun. Where
Uh-huh.
yesterday I just could not do it. And he called me and said, "Hey, are you okay? Is everything all right?" I tried to click on the link and you weren't there. And I told him what was going on and I texted you. And while I was chit-chatting with him, I got a scam call. And I said, "Ooh, let me bring it in." And I brought him in so he could hear the call. It was one of the um, Costco vacation scammers,
Uh-huh.
which I've gotten them numerous times in the past, and I know they're a scam. They're just nasty people, and
Nasty.
I just was having fun with the guy, and what I forgot that I had done is I originally had turned the system to pull in from my headset from my microphone,
Uh-huh.
and then when Todd called, I yanked it out and put it into my phone. So when I put the phone on speakerphone and I'm recording with my computer, I still had it set for the microphone that was no longer plugged in. So it didn't pick up any of the audio from my computer. And what I ended up doing is having to use the audio from the call itself, which is really crappy. But we had a good time playing around with the guy, so it was fun. All right, let's see
All right.
who else is here. Let's see who else is here. Yeah, Richard, he's nailed it right there.
I'll be right back.
Okay, awesome one. Clark says hi to awesome one. Rosemary says, sorry. Yes, you're doing great. Okay, thank you, ma'am. And yes says, hello, everyone. Hello, each and every one. Hello there. Awesome one says, Misfit Corner Scams, you're doing good. You have not called me the ancient one in weeks. When I realize I screw up, I try not to screw up again. The guys used to pick on me because whenever we were talking about the Green Lantern Corps, which is a comic series from DC, I would always screw up and say corpse, which is not how you pronounce that word. But they used to pick on me mercilessly because I would always screw it up. I have not screwed it up in months and months and months because in my mind I know as soon as I see the word stop, say it right. When I see your name, I say stop, say it right. All right, let's see who else is here. All right. Ishmael's here, says hello, each and every one. Hello, sir. Clark says hi to Anya. I think I'm saying that right, Anya. Rosemary says hi to everyone. The awesome one says hi to Ishmael. Clark says hi. Uh, Anita says hi to everyone. I really don't need to read the highs, but you guys just have so much fun. It's always fun. All right, let's see who else is here. Pamela West says, hi, hope all is well. Welcome to the show, Pamela. Anita's here. Yep. Let's see. Richard says, I'm the ancient one. I wasn't going to imply that, but sorry. All right, let's see. All right, everybody said hi to everybody. Very good. I hope everybody is having a wonderful weekend. I hope everybody is staying out of trouble. Here in Florida, it is hot as can be, and I appreciate the fact that my store is a sealed store with a door and windows and has an AC unit. And everybody that came into the store was like, "Oh, thank God, AC!" And I'm like, "I know, this is my little thing, my little home away from home, my little sanctuary." But today was a good day. Made a few sales and just had a good time. I'm working on a construction project in the store. Um, I recently bought some clothes, which you'd think a comic book store, you wouldn't think of clothes, but every now and then I'll find a really good deal on something and I'll buy it. And I just have no place to put clothes. So I'm actually building a rack in order to hang stuff up on. And I realized when I got home tonight that I had bought some more stuff and I'm not going to have enough room. So it's always the challenge of having a store is having room to put everything out where you can see it.
Yeah, and hang them all up on the rack.
That's right. Clark says hot here in Arkansas too. Got up to 104 today. Wow. It hasn't gotten that hot here in town yet, but it's on its way. whenever you see the rain getting ready to come, you know it's going to suck because once the rain is gone, the humidity like punches you in the face here. And luckily, it did not rain while I was at the store, but it's coming. July has been a soaker so far this year.
Yeah, it's
So
better when it rains late in the day.
yeah, when it rains late in the day. But no, 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 no. Last weekend, both days it rained like right in the middle of the day, and as soon as the rain stopped, you could feel it. It was like
Oof.
walking into a brick wall of heat. It's nasty stuff. So, but oh, so how you doing, man? How's life
Uh,
treating you?
Busy.
Yeah, good. That's always good.
Trying to get this stuff done for Todd.
Yep, yep. The stuff you shared yesterday. I know you can't share it live on stream, but it
Yeah.
looks great. It looks great.
Yeah,
So
it's all right.
no, no. Ugh. Oh, I had a craving to do some drawing at the store today,
Uh-huh.
but luckily I didn't have a single moment to do so. It it's good when you're busy and you can't take a break to do so, but oh well. What's so funny is usually with the weekends, one day's really busy and one day's really slow, but I never know which is which. So if tomorrow is super busy and today was the slow day, I wasn't going to have time to do anything in the store.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see how it goes. Anya says humidity has been around 90 degrees all day around North Atlanta today. Yuck. Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
We get that as well. Pamela says hello to Clark. And Glenn says, good Saturday evening, sir. Hey, Glenn, how's it going? Welcome to the show. Ishmael says hi to Glenn. So, well, I was looking through, I was specifically looking for one recording in order to make a video for next week, and I can't seem to find it. What usually happens when I get a good recording is I'll try to mark it so that I know, go back and make this specifically into a video. And if I forget to mark it in a way, like usually I'll mark it with like a word. Most of the time I'll put funny or gold after it, so I know that's a good one to go back and do. But obviously this one that I have in my mind that I thought was a good call, I didn't mark it properly. So now I'm going all through my list of videos trying to find this one damn call.
Damn it, Andrew.
It's very frustrating. It's very frustrating.
That's what it's like knowing you.
Yeah, I know. Oh no, very frustrating. Oh, yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. But
30 years, I still can't get rid of him.
yeah, that's right. Hey, Manuel, how's it going? Manuel says, good evening, my good friend Drew. Happy Saturday night, and to you as well, sir. Manuel's a great guy. He's there for almost every one of my videos. He comments on all of them, and I super appreciate it. So
fantastic.
Yeah. I got a lot of faithful people out there, which is great. I make these videos for them
Nice.
specifically.
Oh, have you seen Zach's new Jawbreakers campaign?
The dollar one?
Yeah.
Yes, I did. I did not get a chance to go in there and order anything yet, but it's definitely on my. I think he said that it was going to be a 24-hour thing, and now he says it's going to be up until it comes down.
Well, I backed it twice because the first time I backed it, I didn't see the add-ons because I did it from my phone.
Oh, okay.
So I was one of the people that didn't see the add-ons. So I went back in, backed it again, and got the cuffs thing because I have the other solo thing they did before, the cool knife hand. So I went back in. It's like, okay, I'll get it. I'll back it again. That way I'll get. And I didn't even bother canceling the first one. I was just like, it's $6. I'm just going to give Zach the $6.
Yep. For those of you out there that don't know what it is we're talking about, one of the YouTube channels that we follow, Avery and I follow, is your boy Zach, who does Comics Matter with your boy Zach, and he's doing his own graphic novels and comics, launching them on Indiegogo, and he currently has one up right now where you can get the book for $1, and then you can add a whole bunch of add-ons, and that's what we're talking about. So this audience may or may not
Oh
be
yeah,
really into Indiegogo stuff, but I mean, if you get an opportunity, go check it out. You might be interested.
Hey, that last book I did still in demand.
Oh, it is? Okay.
Yeah. The Lost Pages too, still in demand.
Very good, very good. Now, did somebody get that original piece of art from you yet?
Yeah. Somebody
okay.
bought it, but they bought it on one of Ethan's streams.
Oh, okay.
Okay, yeah, because I noticed that the perk is completely gone, and they sent me some money. So and I was just like, "Hey, what's this money for?" It's like I was on Ethan's auction stream the other night, and
you gotta love extra money that comes out of the blue without you knowing
it
about
just
it.
came out of nowhere. I'm like, "Why did you send me this money? You already paid me for all the work I did on those books." And it's like, "Oh yeah, he sold the pages because I sent him some original art to add to the campaign."
Yeah. Okay. Let me see what's else going on here. Manuel says, "You're very welcome, my good friend Drew. I watched the one about the funeral expenses. I've been getting a lot of those lately, which is the Medicare calls and the funeral expense ones are the ones I get the most lately. Sprinkle in the credit card scammers, sprinkle in the Amazon scammers, but the funeral expense one, they've been hitting me very hard. And whatever, bring it on." Manuel says hello to Ishmael. Let's see. Clark says hi to Manuel. Manuel says, ask your question. Hello. I've been in Neptune. Praise the nation to the church. Okay. Not sure what that means, but okay. Rosemary says, hi, Andrew. The most calls I've had in one day is 26. Oh, wow. I must seem an easy target by the scammers, but with your help, I've learned a lot. Well, excellent. That's fantastic. Lately, I've been getting a lot of calls where you answer the call and there's nobody there, and you say hello, and then 10 seconds later, it disconnects. I've been getting a lot of those. That's kind of like them just testing the number to see if somebody picks up. Because then they can sell that number as a number that somebody picks up at. I think if I include the hangups, I probably get 20 to 30 calls a day on average. But actual recording, talking to scammers, maybe 6 to 7. Actually, a good call, 1 to 2 a day.
Yeah.
So it's not bad, but there are days where, because I literally have 3 phones sitting on my desk while I'm working. I have my cell phone, I have my backup cell phone, which they've been calling again, and I have the house phone. And I answer all 3 of them, and my wife's phone forwards to my phone. So technically, I've got 4 lines, and they keep me busy.
And for you, a good call means they flip out on you.
Gotcha. Yep.
And they get irate and stupid.
Well, if I can keep them on the phone, my goal is to always keep them on the phone as long as possible. If I can keep them on the phone for 10 minutes, I've achieved my goal. And if I can keep on longer than that, that's just great. So, Ishmael says, I just popped in for a quick chat. Bye, all, everybody. Take it easy, my friend. Take it easy.
Bye.
Manuel says, nation on church, someone being a caprice. I'm not sure what that means, but okay. Anita says, Misfit, how do I send you numbers? How do you send me numbers? Oh, you mean for calls? Well, I mean, honestly, I don't make a lot of outbound calls. All the calls that I get, all the recordings that I get are all inbound calls. You can send it to my email. My email is available on YouTube, so you can send it there. But honestly, between my day job and my weekend job, I don't have a lot of time to do call flooding, which is what some scammers do, where they call numbers that they know are bogus, like helplines or Amazon lines or whatever. I honestly don't have time to do that. All the calls I get are calls that come to me. I know it sounds crazy, but that's what it is. So let's see. Anya says Medicare and final expense has gone wild. Yes, they have. They are definitely targeting elder individuals, And maybe it's because my wife and I used to live with my wife's grandmother. Maybe
Hmm.
that's why our numbers got associated with elderly people, but we get those calls all the time. And the thing I think is funny, well, not funny, but sad, is like the final expense. They literally tell you in their script that they're reaching out to older individuals, 50 to 60 or 80, whatever it is, whatever
Yeah.
age frame it is. They are targeting elderly people.
Yes.
And it's disgusting that they do that, but they do. So, like I've always said, if you have an elderly person in your life, whether it's your mother, your father, your grandparents, who aunts, uncles, whatever, make them aware of these scammers and these calls that are coming, because trust me, they are the target audience. They are the
Yeah.
people these guys want. And the more
Hmm.
I can expose it, the better, you know? So, all right, let's see here. The awesome one says, I get one of those no talk calls every day. They leave a message for my student loans. Yep, I get those too. I get those too. I never had student loans. My
Yeah.
wife's student loans were completely paid off. So I don't know how our numbers are in their system, but they call
Yep.
me all the time.
I've had them before too, and it's like I don't have student loans. I never went to college.
There you
Aha.
go. Well, I went to college for, was it one semester or 2 semesters? 2 semesters. And that was before Michael.
Yeah.
So, yeah, once Michael happened, I went, I got to go to work. So I joined the workforce and been working ever since. So,
Yeah. I was poor. I
oh,
didn't
what
go to
is
camp.
this? What is this? Manuel says donation to the church who tries to be a priest, but it's really fake scam. Really? I
Oh.
haven't gotten that one yet, but that would not surprise me. You know, calling, claiming to be from a church. Ugh, God, hate the amount of the type of scams that people are out there trying to do amazes me.
Yeah.
That
They have no conscience at
they
all.
have no souls, no conscience whatsoever. And I've tried to actually talk to people sometimes and said, a lot of the Amazon scammers, as soon as I start talking to them, they end up hanging up on me. So instead of talking to them, instead of playing along with the scam, I try to talk to them. I was like, I asked this one guy one time, and it really sucks. The recording was so bad, I could not make a video of it. But I actually talked to the guy. I says, "Hey, do you actually like your job?" And he's, "Well, yeah, I like my job." I said, "So you like scamming people?" Says, "I'm not scamming." And I'm like, "Dude, I know you don't work for Amazon. You can at least be honest with me."
Yeah.
And he was he we talked about it for like 30 seconds to a minute or so, and then he hung up on me, and I was like, oh, that what is such a good call, because I actually got to talk to the guy. Now, whether what he said was truthful and honest, totally different story, but he at least talked to me. And the recording was so bad I couldn't use it.
Ugh.
I actually um sometimes the app on my phone, it when I take a call, normally when I'm in front of my computer, I put it on speakerphone and I record it using my computer, using my
Hmm.
microphone and my computer video. um, but the phone still records the calls. Sometimes the phone records it at a super low volume, and I don't know why. It's a problem with the app.
Hmm.
But that was one of the calls in which it was at the super low volume, so you couldn't hear a word either one of us were saying.
Oh, that
And when
sucks.
I tried dubbing it, where I raised the volume and then re-recorded it raising the volume again, it was so staticky you still couldn't make out what we were saying. And I'm like, damn, that was a good call.
Mm.
But you're right, these people, somebody made a comment on one of my videos about how in parts of India, because of their dislike for Americans and the fact that in the US everybody's rich, everybody has money, so stealing from them is not really frowned upon by them. It's a honorable profession in some people's eyes in parts of the countries like that. And I'm like, that's, man, I'm so glad But then again, there's also scammers in the US too. So,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and they're doing it because they're trying to make money.
Yeah.
So,
And they have a different definition of rich than we do.
yes, they do. Yes, they do. Manuel says that I like is Medicare and the credit card low payment. Yes, yes. I like the credit card ones. Those are the ones that I've been getting the longest. I have recordings from 4 years ago of them trying to get me, and they still call all the time, which is great. So I love them. I appreciate them, but they're crazy. Anya says you have to be a certain age to qualify for final expense. Yes, they tell you. I think they tell you it's ages 50 or up, and I'm honestly not there just yet. But
Yeah.
I lie and tell them I am. I always have two ages ready to go. If it's the final expense scammers, I tell them I'm 62. If it's Medicare, I tell them I'm 67. And I have dates of birth for each of those to coordinate with them. I had a call from a Medicare scammer once. He asked me how old I was. I said 67. He said, "What's your date of birth?" And I gave him the date of birth. And I could hear him trying to calculate. And I said, "I'll wait until you finish your calculation." because the date I gave you does make me 67. And he's like, "You don't sound 67." I said, "Well, thank you." It's because I'm not, idiot.
Yeah.
But
I get
but
this
I
Medicare calls too, and I'm a couple years younger than you. I'm a long way away from Medicare.
Michael gets them as well, and
Michael's still
he's
in his 20s.
28.
Yeah.
Yeah. He gets them, and he doesn't like to play with them like I do.
Yeah.
And he tells them, he's like, "How old do you think I am?" And he tries, and he's like, "You guys are just so stupid." But somehow his number got associated with Granny, and that's why they
Mhm.
call his number. And it doesn't matter how many times he tells them, "Listen, I am not even 30 years old. Why are you calling me?" They keep calling.
Yeah.
But that's because they don't care. They're scammers. They don't care if it's a valid number or not. Like there's a recording I put up earlier this week where I talked to somebody from claiming to be from American Benefits, which is one of the final expense ones.
Mm-hmm.
And I went off on them and told them, like, what did I tell him? Oh no, it was the age thing. How I'm like, I'm 28 years old or 26 years old. Why are you calling me and all that? And he's like, I know you're not. And it's like, whatever. And he's at the end, he said, we're gonna take your name off, we're gonna take your number off, and we're not gonna call you anymore. I get a call from them every day. Every day, because they don't care. So all right, let's see what else is going on here. Anya says, thing is, they send you to a real insurance agent. The agents are just using scammer companies for sales leads. Yes, I felt so bad. I got a scam call for a final expenser, and I went ahead and I didn't have time to screw with the guy. So I just went ahead and let them do their thing. And they said they'd have somebody call me back. The person who called me back, I looked up their information, and they honestly do work for that company. That's the same company that handles my 401k. And I'm like, I can't believe you guys are working with piece of crap scammers. You know, these guys that call even though they don't check the do not call list. And I every now and then I'll throw that out, the fact that I'm on the do not call list. And they're like, "Oh, you are?" It's like, "Yeah, why didn't you check it ahead of time, you idiot?" But yeah, it's sad. I think there might be a rule in the do not call list that if you're actually not calling to sell something, technically you don't have to follow the rules of the do not call, because they'll call you and say, "Hey, can we have somebody call you?" But they're not actually the ones trying to sell something. The other person who's going to call you is.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a way to get around it. And once again, if they have to lie to you to get in the door, they have to try to deceive you. It's a scam. Don't give any of these people your information ever. Just don't. Nope. Nope. Actually, I have one. Oh, wait a minute. No, the audio for this call went up today. It was the one where the guy claimed to be from a company called Insurance Supermarket.
Mm-hmm.
And he said that I would have filled out my information on the website in order to get a call from him. And I said, well, what's the website? He said, insurancesupermarket.com. I went to it. It's a for sale domain name. It's not even a real website. It's like, what are you talking about? You don't think people are going to check that? You don't think somebody's going to look into that lie of yours?
No, they don't.
No.
Like my mom saw this thing on Facebook, right? It's
Mm-hmm. Oh, Facebook. Good God.
Yeah, and it's like, connect your trying to get people to like enter their passcodes for Amazon or something.
Right.
And to order a whole pallet of stuff for $1. And she's like,
Right.
"You're on Amazon, order this, do this." And I'm just like, "Mom, that's a scam." And she's
It
like,
is.
I'm like, "How do you know?" And I showed her. I clicked on every person who was a commenter on the thread. I was just like, "Look, no pictures, no friends, no pictures, no friends, no pictures, no friends, no pictures, no friends. This is a scam. This is not how Amazon works. If Amazon was selling a pallet of different electronics for $1, I would just be able to find it on the Amazon app. I would just be able to get it. This is a scam. It's a ripoff.
Yep. And the only reason why they do it is because people fall for it.
Yeah, my mom would have fell for it if I had connected my Amazon to her tablet like I started to originally.
My mother-in-law, she gets emails all the time. She got one from our internet company, and she brought it to me and says, "Can you tell me if this is a valid email?" And it just said something about disconnection of service or something. And she was like, it was a panic. It's one of those ones where they read it and they go, "Oh my gosh, something's happening, something bad. I've got to do something." And it had a link, and I showed her how you can look at the link, the address for the link, without actually clicking on the link. And it came up as blah 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 blah. It had nothing to do with our internet provider.
Yep.
And she's like, "Ooh, that's not our internet provider." I said, "I know." But it's worded in a way that makes you panic, that makes you think, "Oh my gosh, something's wrong. I've got to fix it."
Yep.
And numerous times I tell her, please don't click on any links at all. Let me know if you get an email, if there's an issue, and I will help you with it. Because but a lot of people don't have somebody like us in their lives to do that.
Yeah.
And they don't know, and they fall for it. My father fell for an Amazon email scam that he ended up, I forgot, I think it was either Christmas or Thanksgiving. We're all sitting around the dinner table talking about, what's going on. And my mom goes, "Oh, by the way, your dad fell for an Amazon scam and they charged us $1,200 on our bank account." I'm like, "What?" I said, "What are you talking about?" She said, yeah. They contacted us because there was like a $1,200 charge on our debit account because Dad gave some emailer the information, and he saw it. It said Amazon. He said, "My wife uses Amazon all the time. This must be valid." Typed in his debit card information and hit send. Yep, that's how easy it is. Rosemary says, "Andrew, you're doing a great job. Thank you." Anya says, "I used to get Menesa Jordan calls all the time." I'm not familiar with that one. After I left message about how he was a false prophet, they finally quit. Oh, okay. I've gotten calls from it's the automated messages telling you about how it's a long one. I've actually listened to the whole thing where it talks about how we're calling to tell you you've got like an angel day or something coming up, and to find out what it is, just press this button and talk to somebody. And it's a church asking for donations, and I just like listening to them and screwing with them when I finally get them on the phone. But it takes a long time to get there. But yeah, they're all scams. Clark says most scammers hope and pray that victims don't have common sense. And the sad part is, common sense is not as common as you think. That's an old expression about common sense, is that it's
It's
uncommon.
it's dead.
Yeah.
It's dead in our society.
Yep. Anya says they don't like it when I tell them if I want life insurance, I'll write my own policy.
Mm.
Well, I have actually, do I have 2 or 3 life insurance plans, right? I think I have 2. So, I really don't need additional life insurance, but when they call you and they offer you funeral insurance, funeral expense insurance, it's very it's very foreboding and very scary, the thought of that, of not having that, and they like to take advantage of it. So Anita says, I've been getting car warranty calls, and I tell them I just bought a 2022 Toyota Tundra with 130 miles on it, and they try to tell me the warranty is expired. They don't know anything about you. They don't know anything about your cars. I did get a car warranty one just recently. I know I've got a recording of it somewhere where I was telling the lady, which car? I have 2 cars. And she goes, the most recent one. I said, well, let me think about it. And I'm sitting there just, I only have 1 car, by the way, but I was sitting there going, let me see, which one, when did I buy the first? And she was getting impatient because I wasn't just giving her what she asked for, which was the make and model of one of the cars. And I'm like, which one was the last one I bought? Was that? And I'm just wasted her time. And eventually it just got down to the point where I gave her a car. And then I said, now, wait a minute. Is that the car you're calling on, or is it the other car? And she just finally gave up and hung up on me. But those people, they lie to you by saying, we're calling up because your file indicates your warranty is going to expire or has expired. They don't know diddly squat about you or your car
No.
at all. They just make that up in order for you to take the call. So those people are just, and I believe most of the car warranty ones are here in the United States. Their calls being made in the US. They're not foreign ones. The credit card ones, the Amazon ones, those are definitely foreign calls. You can tell sometimes when you tell them like where you live, like I say I'm in Florida, they go, oh, okay, you're down there, or you're over there.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, you're in Florida, you're over there. It's like, over there, where are you calling from?
Yeah.
I had one time, one person told me they were calling from an overseas phone center, and I said, really, what country are you in? And he would not tell me. All he would tell me is that it was overseas. That was it. It's like, come on, I'm not being judgmental here. I'm just talking to you, just trying to figure it out.
Just talking.
You know? Just talking. Yeah, the Bostonian man's coming out, you know. But
Yeah.
oh well. I was telling Todd the other day that I need to come up with something new for the channel. I mean, the scam calls are great, and I love sharing the calls with people, but I either need to come up with, I don't know if I need a new story or a character or something, but I need something new. I need something new to do. And I thought about doing the animation, but that just takes so much freaking time.
Oh yeah.
That's
the reason you need to get one of those. You need to do several drawings, right?
I had started to try to do that, but
get that program that animates the mouths for you.
Yeah. I'll have to look into that. But that's honestly, anything that has to do with drawing is almost like a whole nother job. You know what I'm talking about. You know how much work it takes.
Sure. I'm working on a page right now. Like I'm working on a page. I'm not drawing. I'm doing the zip tones.
Oh, okay. Yeah. You're very good with that stuff. So, all right, let's see what else we got here. Emmanuel says, I like the one asks you to sell your property, and you say I have one behind Walmart store. Yes. The fact that I told him it was made out of cardboard and they didn't hang up on me immediately was hilarious. That call, actually, that was like a 9 or 10 minute call where I'm telling the guy about my property, which is behind the Walmart. And he says, how many bedrooms does it have? And I said, well, one of each. And I said, but we can always add another one on. I mean, all you got to do is grab an empty box and there you go. There's another room. And the guy just kept going.
Thing
I
is, though,
know.
those people that cold called to buy your house is how I sold my house.
Really?
Yeah, dude. I just said,
Really?
when I decided that was it, I'm gone. I'm done.
Yeah.
You know, things have escalated enough where I'm just leaving town. And
Yeah,
my
but here's
mom needs me here. I said,
right.
yeah, how much?
But here's the difference. You owned property.
Yes.
I don't.
Yeah.
My name and number is not listed on any property anywhere, but they still call me. I don't own property.
Exactly. Yeah, I did own property.
You own property. You actually had a property that people could call and inquire about.
Yeah.
I don't, and they still call me.
And they still call you.
See, that's the thing. It's see. Oh well. Vicky says I keep getting calls from Cox Cable. I believe there is a Cox Cable out there.
Yes, I around Atlanta.
Oh really? Oh okay. That's I think somebody was telling me Spectrum, which is one of the ones I get calls on, is like mostly like in the New England, New York area. It's not down here in Florida, but maybe it is. I don't know. I'd never heard of it until I started getting the calls, and I asked my wife. I said, "Do you know what Spectrum is?" She said, "Yeah, I think I've heard of it."
Yeah,
I had no idea.
It's MediaCom around here in South Georgia.
Yeah, yeah. Emmanuel says, I watched that one with the scam insurance. Yep. The awesome one says there is a Facebook scam that just started where you get a message saying you have won the Facebook sweepstakes. Oh my gosh. They want your personal information. It's the phishing type of scams. Yep. That's what a lot of them out there. I've in the past, I told people that a lot of times scams, they may not be trying to steal your money or steal your bank account information or get gift cards from you. Sometimes they're just trying to get valid information from you. And for an example, I used to get calls from the Social Security Administration, the Custom and Border Patrol. I don't get them nearly as often anymore. But when you do get a call from them, they ask you about what kind of bank accounts you have, what kind of credit cards accounts do you have. And in the past, I've lied to them and said, well, I have a Discover and I have a Bank of America and I have Chase, which I don't have any of those. I've actually gotten calls from the credit card companies that start off with, this is Discover calling about your account. I don't have a Discover card. The only way they would have gotten the information that I have a Discover card is when I lied to the other scammers months and months ago. So they use that information to try to scam you later. They're trying to get your information in order to scam you at another time. I get Bank of America calls. I've never had an account with Bank of America ever. But they're a common bank around here. So I throw out like Wells Fargo, Bank of America. I don't have any of those accounts, but I get calls from them all the time.
Yeah, but I have a Bank of America account, and they don't call you for shit.
No, they don't.
They will not call. They don't call you for anything.
They're definitely not going to call you to save you money on your interest rate.
Hell no. Bank of America ain't trying to save you out of shit. They're trying to take every dime you put in the bank.
That's
They're
right.
trying to take
That's
it
all. Let's see. Vicky says, I told on an e-girl. Oh yeah.
Oh,
Yep.
What, the e-girls that weren't paying taxes?
Anita says that one was funny. Yep. Vicky says, oops, I asked the girl that called about Cox what the name was. She didn't know. I told her, I think you're a scammer. She said you were a scammer. Heard that quite a bit recently. Oh yeah. I love it when the scammers get upset at you and say you're the bad person because you're not going to give the scammers your information, or you're wasting their time. Oh, they hate it when you waste their time. They're
Uh-huh.
like they think they will call us scammers because we are scamming the scammers. Well, it's true. If a scammer wants to call me a scammer, I will gladly take that name, that moniker. Give
Yeah.
it to me. I have no problem with that. I'm not going to scam any legitimate person, but if a scammer calls me, bring it on. Let's do it.
Yeah, you get what you get. You're out here trying to rip people off. You get what you get.
Let's see. Vicky says, I live in Cox Cable area, but have direct TV. Well, here's the funny thing. I get calls lately. I've been getting calls from AT&T. I don't have AT&T service. I actually the internet that we use right now, it's not in my name, nor is it connected to my phone number, but I still get calls. That's fine. That's fine. Bring it on. Let me waste your time. I will any scammer out there, I will gladly waste your time for as long as you'll let me, and we'll have fun doing it. Well, we will. Well, the guy that called last night, the Costco travel guy, I started out. He starts talking, and I'm like, "Hey, how's it going? Having a great yeah." And I'm just shooting the crap with him, having a good old time, and we were having a good dialogue. And then eventually, I asked him, "Well, how did you get my number in the first place?" And he's like, "Oh, well, friends or family must have." And I'm like, "Ooh, I want to know which one of my family or friends gave you my number, because I'm gonna beat the crap out of them." I didn't say that, but and once I started, my attitude kind of changed a little bit. He eventually gave up and left, but got to mess with them. Got to waste their time, and I love it. Let's see. Anya says, I find it hilarious when they say I'm wasting their time. I tell them, you called me. That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
And what's so funny is I've actually had scammers. I had one time where he kept saying, "Oh, hold on a second, I'll be right back," and he would leave, and then he would come back, and then it's like, and he's like, "Okay, now let's," and he said, "Oh, hold on a second," and he would leave again. He put me on hold again, and I'm like, does he think he's wasting my time? I mean, really? I mean, I literally, when I'm taking a scam call, if they put me on hold or something like that, I turn here and I go back to work.
Yeah.
They're not
Yeah.
wasting my time.
You're in it for the long haul. You know what you're doing. You're a professional.
That's right. That's right. I find it funny how often they will call me when I'm on a conference call or something. And what's really funny is if I'm talking to my boss and we're on a conference call, we're doing a Teams call or something, and all of a sudden my phone starts ringing. I'll be like, "Oh, geez," and I'll go and I'll ignore it and so forth. And he's just laughing because he knows that I get these calls all the time. And it's like, that could have been the one. That could have been the one good one for today, and I missed it because I'm on the phone with you. But that's okay. All right, let me see here. What else we got going on?
How dare your boss expect you to pay attention to your job?
Well, I mean, he pays me, so I should. Anita says, "How can you tell?"
Calls now.
Yeah, it says, "How can you tell if it's a spoof number?" That's a good question. You can't always tell. If it's a local number, I assume it's a spoof number because I have called the local numbers back in the past, and whoever picks up has no idea what I'm calling about or talking about. If it's not a local number, I'll try it. I'll give it a shot. I'll try calling it back just to see what happens. 9 out of 10 times, it's either a disconnected number or it's an invalid number, which means they're spoofing a disconnected, invalid number. But you really can't tell. Honestly, I just assume any number they're calling from, especially if it comes up as a local number, it's a spoof number, period. I'm not going to waste time calling that number back. But if it's not a local number, I may try it. You never know. So, let's see. Vicky says, my fave is when they tell you not to call again and again. I've gotten the number for, it was either Social Security or Customs, where I kept calling them back, and they got tired of it, kept hanging up on me, and it's always fun. But I actually had an Amazon scammer one time yell at me and says, "Stop pressing number one," because you press number one if you don't recognize the charge and you want to dispute it. And she actually yelled at me and told me to stop pressing number one. It's like, well, then stop calling me. But they don't. They don't. So, oh, wait, hold on a second. Vicky says, "Watch Petty Pranks. Very funny." Okay, I'll check that out. Petty Pranks. I'll have to look that one up. I know Tagao does a lot of calls and screws with people. Every now and then he'll
Nice.
call and he'll try to talk to them, just have a
Mhm.
conversation with them, and sometimes they'll talk to him. But he really likes screwing with them, and I love it. I love it. But well, I mean, honestly, if a scammer is going to call me, I am going to waste as much of their time as possible if they'll let me. If they'll let me. Oh, Jonathan, hey, how's it going?
This is for Herschel.
He sent a $5.
Nice.
What are those things called?
Super chats.
Super chat for Herschel. Thank you so much. Herschel does appreciate it. Herschel, I've actually started bringing Herschel back again. I hadn't used him in a long time. I got stuck on Timothy Williams,
Uh-huh.
mainly because they don't. When you tell them Timothy, they have no idea. They're not familiar with that name at all. They don't. They're like, they can't pronounce it. They've never seen it spelled. When you spell it to them, they don't get it right, because Timothy is not a common name for them. And
Uh-huh.
I love using it. I just absolutely love using it. But I either got to switch up. I got a call the other day. They were asking for Carl Walters.
Uh-huh.
And I'm thinking to myself, is that a fake name I used in the past? It is. And I totally forgot about it. But Herschel is making a comeback. Herschel is probably one of my all-time favorite fake names. And thank you, Jonathan. I appreciate it. The awesome one says to Vicky, Petty has one called Impatient Scammer. It's a riot. Okay, I'm going to have to check it out now. Absolutely. Oh, there's somebody here whose username is YouTube user. I love eventually getting kicked from the conference. Yes, I do too. When the line says you have been kicked from this conference, I'm like, oh, that's so
Oh, that's
sad.
my feelings.
It hurts my fifis. Yes, but oh well. Oh, just so you guys know, I did buy a lottery ticket this evening.
Oh,
It's up. The mega ball is up to 440 million.
damn.
If I win, you probably will not hear from me again. Just so you all know.
Nice.
So for some reason, actually,
If he
I have
wins, you'll definitely never hear from him again.
I gotta tell you this funny story. There's a kid that comes into the store with his dad, and the kid likes Legos, and I have Legos, and he loves Legos, and we're always talking about Legos and movies and stuff like that. And I told him one day jokingly that I was playing the lottery, and if I win the lottery, I probably wouldn't come back to the store. And he turns to me and says, "Well, then I hope you don't ever win the lottery." And I'm like, "You cursed me!" And every time I see him, I'll mention it. I'll say, "You know what? I still haven't won the lottery. Thank you very much. It's all your fault."
It is.
He thinks it's hilarious. But yeah, I know. Let's see. Anya says, take is great at berating them. Oh, okay. I'll definitely have to check that out. Anita says, so now when someone calls me, I answer the phone, Pizza Hut. Can you hold, please? That's funny. I've thought about trying to do that, like trying to sound like a business or something. I could say Misfit Corner Comics and see what happens. But, we'll see. We'll have to see. We'll have to play with them some. I try to play with them, but sometimes I'm just not quick enough. So we'll see. If Andrew wins, Will he buy Superman #1? No, 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 no. No, 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 no. Awesome one. If I won the lottery, I would not buy comics. I would buy original art. I would buy original comic pages. I would go back as far as I wanted with some of the page, and there's billions of pages out there, but there's some very specific ones I'd be looking for. I know there's a lot of high value ones out there, like original Dark Knight Frank Miller pages are like through the roof. Honestly, there's none I'd really want, but there's a lot of, like, I would love to have an original Monkey Man and O'Brien Art Adams page. I would love to have an original Walter Simonson Thor. I'd love to have an original. Oh yeah, I know. But that's on. I mean, I have a dream list. And trust me, if I won the lottery, the dreams would happen in a heartbeat. Right. Oh, wait a minute. YouTuber user says, I blow raspberries into the headset when the scammers ask if I have a Medicare ID number. I actually, I have my wife's grandmother's Medicare number, and she's long gone. So, but I've never used it because, but I've taken the numbers and letters and I've rearranged them. So when they ask me for a number, I can give them a fake number with the appropriate amount of digits and so forth. But I always just make up numbers. I made up. There was one time that a guy claimed he was from the my electric company, and he asked for my account number, and I literally pulled numbers out of my ass, and he said, "Okay, I see your account." I'm like,
"Sure you do."
Yep, you absolutely do. Absolutely.
Totally. That's me.
Yep, that's me. Vicky says, awesome one. The burglar asks about the computer he's going to steal. That's right. Oh, I gotcha. Take equals to gal. Gotcha. I'm with you. Shows you how much I pay attention to the world around me. Oh, Vicky says, I collect Scotty Young. Really?
Oh,
very cool. Very cool. He does. Somebody asked him once. He was doing a podcast with Mike Norton, and it was right before he was going to announce he was working on the Wizard of Oz series, and he was throwing it out there that he had a big project coming out from Marvel, and somebody asked him, is it a collection of your covers that you did for Marvel? And he was like, ooh, that is such a great idea. But that's not what it was. But he's got a lot of covers out there. So
yeah.
So his art style has changed a lot over the years. And I think he's become a much better artist because of it. But I still like the style he had when he did that New Warriors limited series, where it was more animated than scratchy. It was like a much animated style, but yeah, Scotty Young's he's one of those good ones. He's one of those guys that has established a solid style, a recognizable style. And dude, could you imagine a Scotty Young hero drawing?
It'd be pretty good.
He'd knock it out of the park, I bet.
Sure.
One of these days. He's on my list. If
he doesn't, because you're a no person.
I don't think I don't know. I don't think I'm enough of a no person. You never know. Still says I'm a no person on my Twitter page. I never did change that. It's still there.
Yeah.
But I don't know if
I still have it. I'm not changing it.
Yeah. All right, let's see. Vicky says, Anita, we collect comics. Oh, wait a minute. I'm sorry. Anita says, my son has a lot of boxes of comic books. That's awesome. You never know. Anita, you know how many horror stories we've heard of moms throwing out guys' comic collections? Don't ever do that. Don't or sell it out from underneath him. Like if he goes off to college and then sell all of his comics, don't do that. It happens to every one of us. We all have our horror stories, but But if you're going to sell them, bring them to my store and I'll buy them from you.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. People have lost thousands of dollars worth of books that way.
Vicky says, I hear he's doing the Predator. Well, I know there's a Predator series coming out from Marvel. I don't know if he's doing the art, but he's probably doing variant covers. So I don't know. There's a series coming out, a limited series coming out. It's a Jessica Jones series, and it's called Variant. And he did a cover for it, which was actually really funny. It's actually him drawing himself, a caricature of himself, and he's talking to Jessica Jones and not Jessica Jones. What's the AKA alias? What is her name?
Jessica Jones.
Is it Jessica Jones?
Yes. Alias.
Yes. Okay. Why was I thinking? Oh, I was thinking of the what's the one from Spider Woman? Jessica, what's her name?
I don't know who Spider.
Okay, never mind. Go back to Jessica Jones.
Yeah, so Jessica Jones is the detective. The comic was called Alias.
Let me just rewind the conversation. Yeah, so there's a limited series coming out called Variant, and it's about Jessica Jones and her different variants in the Marvel Universe. And the cover by Scotty Young has Scotty Young sitting at his drawing table, turning to Jessica Jones saying, "So you want me to do a variant cover?" And she goes, "Yes." For a series called Variant. She goes, "Yes." About variants of yourself. Yes. It's like just some people find it. I found it hilarious. So, but if he did a Punisher a Predator cover, that could be interesting. He's got a new series that's coming out from Image called Twig. Mm-hmm. I think the third or fourth issue is out so far. I've bought every single one of them. I thought it's great. I love the series. It's great. But he's not doing the art. He's writing the story and somebody else is doing the art. But it's very Scotty Young-ish. But it's very good. I'm enjoying it. It's a good series. So Anya says my Medicare is that's a good one. 5C4M A55CHOR. That's a good one. I gotta remember that. Actually, next time somebody asks me what my Medicare number is, I'm gonna come up with something like that. That's good. That's a good idea. Sneak a secret hidden message in the number. Vicky says my husband stepmom did that when he went into the Navy. Yep. You won't believe how many times somebody will come into my store and they'll tell me the story and I tell them everybody's got one. Everybody's got one. From mothers throwing away their comics to selling their comics while they're out of town, or if they leave home and they leave a box behind, they throw it out. I have one guy who his wife did something with his comics and he's been trying to replace them and showing her the bill every time he has to buy one of the ones she threw out. It's like, that's a little mean. They may be exes now. He may be his ex-wife now.
That's a good
she says he's
divorce.
Anita says he's 39 years old now. Hey, you never know. Moms can do stuff to guys' collections. My mother did it to me. I'm not sure if I told you guys the story before, but I had moved out of the house and I had some boxes of comics left at my mom's house. And I went to the house. They were going to have a yard sale. And I went through and individually priced every book in the box. And I gave it to my mom and said, everything's priced. And she said, okay, no problem. And I came back after after she had done it. And I said, so how did you do? She says, oh, I sold the whole box. I said, great. She says, yeah, some kid offered me $20. And I'm like, what? Everything was individually priced. And nope, she sold the whole box for $20. So, yeah, I know.
It was probably like $200 worth of shit.
Or more. Yeah, exactly. Vicky says, I got it. Oh, it says, got Twig. Got one signed from Third Eye Comics. Oh, that's fantastic. That's fantastic. Let's see. Simotesi says, oi. And says, it's spooky. Oh, he's probably talking about Twig. Twig it definitely has the look of a kid book, but it definitely has some more mature references in it. I mean, in the very first issue, the character goes to the wherever the destination is he's going, and he's trying to meet this older character who's supposed to teach him how to do whatever it is he's supposed to do. And when he gets there, all that's left of the old guy is a skeleton. It's like, oh, so it's not all roses and sunshine and butterflies. So, all right. Well, guys, on that note, it's already after 9 o'clock now. I hope everybody had a good time. I didn't get an opportunity to read any comments on the channel, but that's okay. I love talking to you all, and I love taking your questions and telling you stories. And I just love the community that's here, and I'm glad you're all here, and I'm glad you're all aware of what these scammers are trying to do. And you never know. There's a new one around the corner. They're going to try something new on us. They're going to try to take advantage of us. And like I always say, if you get calls like these calls, hang up on them or screw with them like I do. Hope you all enjoy. Have a fantastic weekend. Everybody be safe. Stay out of the heat if you can. If you live in a part of the country where it gets really, really hot, like us out down here in the South, try not to spend too much time out in the heat. And everybody, have a fantastic week and screw with the scammers.
Boy.
Thanks for joining, Avery. I'll talk at you later.